Hey, I'm Dr. Divi. I'm sharing this video for anyone who's thinking of doing the VIP day with Alexander. So I did the VIP day probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was a game changer. I wanted to record this video after a couple weeks so I could really sit with it and digest kind of what occurred. So I'm going to describe the day, and then I also want to describe kind of the trickle effects after. So we were together for about, I think, 8 hours, pretty much 9 to 5 kind of thing. And Alexander had a million gifts and presents, which I won't tell you what they were because they'll probably be different for you. And the morning we spent more on the emotional, mental, spiritual side of my business. And then the afternoon we spent more on the tactical 3D environment, side to the businesses. Just briefly about me before I keep going. I'm a family doctor turned intuitive spiritual teacher. I've known Alexander for years. I've taught events for him. And we become friends over the years, and I really respect and admire him. But one thing about me is I'm really good at what I do as an intuitive spiritual teacher, really good. And I've run businesses before, but I really suck at business. And I jokingly say that. I don't have a business degree. I've got a medical degree, and they always joke that physicians are the worst business owners. But besides that, with working as an intuitive spiritual teacher, I get a lot of downloads or ideas. I could give you 50 ideas right now of how to make $1 million, just like that. Because I get a lot of ideas. But the problem with getting so many ideas is I'm constantly like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then I don't feel like a straight path. And I've been doing this for 15 years, so a long time. But after spending the day with him, I finally feel like, okay, I've got a very clear path for the next 5 years, so clear. So in the morning, we looked at the emotional, mental reasons I am where I am. Kind of not just in my business, but in my bank account, lots of things. In the afternoon, more of a tactical strategy for the next 5 years, 1 year plan. But then it doesn't just stop there. It even gets deeper. So besides the presents, besides the whole day, besides an amazing lunch and hanging out with somebody really cool, after the event, he uses big piece of paper, whatever they're called, bulletin, to write things out. After event, he sent me an email with 2 large documents, probably 30 or 40 pages typed out of documents basically summarizing the day with a Loom video. And I want to wait a couple weeks to kind of just be with the energy of everything that happened, because obviously we're doing a 1 to 5 year business plan. But what happened to me after. And so, most businesses or entrepreneurs, you kind of go like this. And I read the whole thing cover to cover again last night, and just reading it aligned me. Remember, it's oh yeah, got it. And he goes that extra mile to create this. But then on top of that, he's met with my EA. He's creating tactical approaches for me to take on. But the other really cool thing, and I was alluding to this earlier, it's if I had a bowling ball and I'm going down a bowling alley, he's put up gutter rails like kids, so that when I'm shooting the ball, I'm not in and out of the gutter. Because he's made it really, really clear, this is what I'm here for on the planet. This is my 5 year, 1 year goal. And here's the craziest thing about business. Everything is thought, right? When you think a thought, then it occurs. And so now I know where the majority of my thought wants to be directed for what I want to create, not just financially, but also the biggest part is my impact. So blah, blah, blah. If you're thinking of doing it, I really recommend it. It's a game changer. I think really any entrepreneur, but especially coaches or healers, or if you can relate to me and just be yeah, I'm really good at what I do, but I suck at business. Oh my God, amazing. And I have trauma from the past around businesses, and he really helped me heal those. So anyways, long story short, highly recommend it. Bit of a long video, but if you have any questions, feel free to DM me, send me a message. I'm happy to share. Lots of love.